Hi, Schlockmeister fans. Another review from my previous channel. Classic 80s horror. Sleepaway Camp. The first one. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with water skiing.
Hey, Craig, how about letting me take her around once, huh?
Come on, Marianne, you know I can't do that.
Don't be such a stiff. I know how to drive these things.
Well, he gives in and lets her drive. And of course, they hit some people. A family. Father, 2 kids. Father dies, one of the kids dies. One of them lives. Fast forward 8 years later, Angela, the survivor, is living with her cousin Ricky.
Look what I did.
And the crazy aunt.
You and your cousin some goodies for the ride up to camp.
Camp Perv.
Fresh chicken. Where I come from, we call them baldies. Makes your mouth water, don't it?
Honey, they're too young to even understand what's on your mind.
Angela is put in the camp
What are you looking at?
with Judy, camp bitch. They share a cabin together.
You sure are a sweet-looking little cupcake, Angela.
Camp Perv has his sights set on Angela.
I think I got something you're gonna like real good.
Later on, that Perv becomes our first victim.
Fucker, you're gonna kill me! Well, get the hell over here and help me down!
Doused with a kettle of hot soup.
Say, Angela, we're all going down to the lake tonight, you know, for a little swim. And, well, we were kind of wondering if maybe if you wanted to join us or something.
She's a little withdrawn.
A pro takeover.
Her cousin Ricky, foul-mouthed as he may be, is very protective of Angela.
I'm gonna beat your fucking ass in it! You and Ron! Shut up and let's go!
But Ricky's friend Paul, played by Christopher Collette,
Hi.
is nice to her.
Remember? I met you last week when we all first got here. Listen, I heard. I mean, Ricky told me all about it. Hey, Mama, Reba! What the hell are you doing here? I bet the rest of the boys will be interested in seeing you.
Victim number 2. The next day, Kenny is found. He's looked better. Paul and Angela have kind of gotten fancy for each other.
I hope you're not mad I did that.
I'm not mad. I better go in.
Can I have another one? You know, another goodnight kiss. Don't wake him up.
Summer camp hijinks.
What's the matter, bud? It's 5 o'clock.
Bitchy Judy.
Hey, Angela. How come you never take showers when the rest of us do? Huh?
That is a good question.
You queer or something?
More bullying. While one of those bullies takes a shit, he gets locked in, and then a beehive full of bees.
Hey, get that thing out of here! Come on, get it out! Come on, get it out!
The aftermath. Thus far, all these deaths sort of seem natural, like they could have occurred, so nobody suspects a killer. As Paul tries to make the moves on Angela, Angela has a flashback to when she was a little girl spying on her dad. And her dad's lover. Bitch Judy, who was with Paul last summer,
That wasn't so bad.
tries to make the moves on him again.
I guess not. Angela! Angela!
Hey, where you going?
More bullying as Judy arranges for Angela to be tossed in the water.
Listen,
Hey, what are you doing?
it's like all those other times. You get to the trouble, you run to a rescue and try to take care of everybody. How you gonna do it this time? Another drowning or something worse?
He somehow thinks Ricky's behind all these killings. Like every 80s horror movie, it has the obligatory shower scene, although this time, no nudity. But we do have a death.
Please forgive me. Please.
Meet me at the waterfront after the social.
That girl who's in the shower.
Oh my God, not too bad.
It's time for Judy to get hers.
Oh, it's you. What do you want? Well,
I believe this is one of those hot curling irons.
Back, we better go look for him right now.
Everybody out in pairs. Look everywhere you can think of, even the empty cabins.
Let me run fish like a safe stand though.
Then they find Angela with Paul's head.
Angela, are you all right?
Angela! Are you okay?
But it's
We've had a flashback. We find out that Angela's a boy.
Richard comes home to find a little girl in the house. Yes, I've always dreamed of a little girl just like you. I mean, we already have a boy, so another one simply would not do.
We find out that she's a boy. All right, let's talk about Sleepaway Camp on this survival kit DVD. This box set I think became rare at some point because that Red Cross logo there, Red Cross didn't like it, so they like made them stop selling this. So this little box set became kind of rare. I don't know how rare it is now because there are Blu-rays out there. But anyway, regardless, I first saw this movie, I believe it was Halloween night, 1986. My fellow Schlockmeister Jeff was in town visiting his grandparents, and we would sit there and talk on the phone quite often. This came on like late at night, 10, 11 o'clock at night or something, and we were both watching it in our respective houses, and we just kind of talked on the phone while we were watching the movie, which was kind of fun. And at the very end, we were just kind of shocked at what we saw at the end. I remember he was talking to me, and I was listening closely, and I kind of figured out maybe a second or two before he did. I was like, oh my God. And then they showed it. But anyway, it was a one-time deal. It showed up on cable that one night and didn't show back again until I think July of '87 when I taped it, because at that point I didn't tape it that first night because I had no idea what it was, but then I saw it. Had it on a tape with Caddyshack and A Christmas Story, actually, so quite a tape. So anyway, the movie itself, it starts out with this boating accident. Two kids in the water. One of them dies. Their father also dies. And then raised by the aunt for the rest of the movie. Angela was the survivor. And the movie starts with them, or actually then picks up 8 years later. She's going to summer camp with her cousin. She's being raised by her cousin, the aunt's son. And I think his name was Richard. And she's very quiet, withdrawn, shy. She doesn't speak much. Her cousin's very protective of her, though. So it's a co-ed camp. And she kind of gets picked on and bullied a little bit by some of the bitches around there. And her cousin's always trying to defend her. Christopher Collett plays a guy who's a friend of Richard's. And he also tries to befriend Angela, and they kind of become like a couple, you know. Meanwhile, somebody starts killing people at the camp. Don't want to forget that part, although it's made to look like accidents at first. So the camp counselors and everything don't think there's like a serial killer loose. It's just a series of unfortunate accidents, which results in the death of a lot of people. Ultimately, near the end, Christopher Collett wants to, make out with Angela and stuff. They've kissed a few times. And, what was his name? Yeah, Paul, I think, is Christopher Collett's character name. And the end of the movie, these other two go out and they find Richard. He's kind of like hurt, and then they find Angela, and she's odd. She's like naked, and she's holding a head, which turns out to be a severed head of I believe it was Paul, her boyfriend there. And then she stands up, and they're like, oh my God, she's a boy. And then we see a shot with her screaming, holding a bloody knife and a penis. There's a penis there. And that's how the movie ends. They kind of freeze frame in on her face, which is kind of a very memorable scene now. Quite a scene. So anyway, that is it. The movie gets some criticism today from like the LGBT community and, stuff like that about being raised, he is who he is and whatever, I don't know. But it gets criticized for that. But I think you're just reading too much into it. This is just a slasher film. Angela didn't kill because of a gender role identity. She killed because she was crazy, I think. I mean, maybe her aunt drove her crazy too. But it had nothing to do with boy-girl stuff, whatever. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass now. But anyway, that is Sleepaway Camp. Now, they made a couple of sequels to this, 2 and 3, which are on this box set, and they also made a 4th one. Now, I was reading up today, when this box set came out, the 4th one hadn't been completed. They had some scenes that had filmed like 10 years earlier or so, which they included here. There's just some production stills as a bonus CD, or DVD, I should say. But I think they ended up putting that thing together a few years after this came out, and they made a part 4. And I think they've since made a part 5, Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I don't think is part 4. I think it is a part 5. I don't know. I don't have the complete clarification on that. But anyway, yeah. I'll be reviewing parts 2 and 3 soon, re-reviewing them. And yeah, Sleepaway Camp is available on DVD and Blu-ray now, so I'll leave a link to that if you're interested, and let me know what you think about it. It's an 80s horror classic. It's campy. I think there was a brief nude scene in there. Well, obviously we have a dick at the end, but I think there's a topless scene also, and plenty of gore, though. A little bit trashy, a little bit campy, cheap, but kind of a fun film for sure. A good way to kill 83 minutes. So check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Sleepaway Camp. Watch it. Bye.